Welcome back, deep divers. Today, we're plunging into the world of whale sharks.
The biggest fish in the sea.
Exactly. And we've got some fascinating research to unpack excerpts from a presentation all about them. Get this, we know a lot about these gentle giants, but their breeding and early life are still a total mystery.
Yeah, a real head scratcher. I mean, we're talking about a fish that can grow up to 18.8 meters long.
Whoa, longer than a bowling lane.
Seriously?
Okay, back to the facts. They're filter feeders, right?
Yeah.
And they've got those awesome starry night spots on their back.
And each pattern is unique, just like a fingerprint, which, by the way, is super helpful for tracking them.
Oh, right. Like, how do scientists even keep track of these massive creatures all over the ocean?
Well, they're using tech similar to what NASA uses to map stars, believe it or not.
Wow. Talk about high-tech tracking.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
All right, so we've got the basics, but here's where things get interesting. Scientists have noticed something strange. A lot of the whale sharks hanging out in feeding areas are young males. So where are all the females, especially the pregnant ones?
That is the million-dollar question. And it's not just one location. We're seeing this in Donsol, Ningaloo Reef, the Yucatan Peninsula.
So it's like a global trend.
Seems like it, and it's kind of worrying, right? If we don't know where the females are, especially the moms to be, we can't really understand their whole reproductive cycle.
It's like trying to solve a puzzle with half the pieces missing. And to make things even trickier, we don't even know where whale sharks mate or give birth.
Exactly. It's a real mystery.
Okay, but there's one piece of the puzzle we do have, right? That pregnant whale shark discovered back in '95.
Yes. That was a huge breakthrough. She was caught off the coast of Taiwan, and get this, she was carrying 304 pups.
304. That's incredible. So they can clearly have hundreds of babies,
Yeah.
but we rarely see any young ones out in the open.
Right. It's a bit of a paradox.
Where are they all hiding?
Well, one theory is that they could be spending a lot of time in the deep ocean.
Deep ocean, like way down deep. Why would they go there? They're filter feeders, right?
Right. But get this. Tracking data has shown they can dive to over 1,800 meters. That's way beyond their usual feeding grounds.
Whoa, 1,800 meters. That's seriously deep. Like, what are they doing down there?
It's a puzzle, isn't it? We usually find them filtering plankton near the surface. But the deep ocean, that's a whole different world.
Totally. It's pitch black and freezing down there.
Exactly. So what's a giant filter feeder doing in that kind of environment?
Yeah, it doesn't really add up.
Not with what we know so far, anyway. I mean, there was this tagged whale shark. They named her Anne. She migrated over 20,000 kilometers, ended up spending like 112 days near the Mariana Trench.
Hold on. The Mariana Trench,
Oh.
as in the deepest part of the ocean?
The one and only.
That's mind-blowing. I mean, a whale shark hanging out near the Mariana Trench, it's just unexpected.
It really is.
So they're going to these insane depths, but what are they actually doing down there?
That's the big question, isn't it? Are they finding different food sources? Could those teeth they have, the ones that seem kind of useless for filter feeding, could those actually have a purpose in the deep sea?
Wait a minute. Are you saying whale sharks might be predators in the deep ocean?
Well, we're not saying that for sure, but it's definitely an intriguing possibility.
This just gets weirder and weirder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've got missing moms, deep sea hangouts, and maybe even a secret predatory side. What else are scientists looking at?
Well, they're also studying their movements in detail, and they've noticed that some of these deep dives happen during long migrations.
So it's not just about depth, it's about distance too.
Exactly. Think back to Anne and her trip to the Mariana Trench. She didn't just dive straight down, she traveled thousands of kilometers to get there.
So maybe these dives are part of a bigger migration pattern. Like, are they following specific currents or maybe chasing a particular food source?
Those are some good theories. And remember, these migrations often cross international borders.
Right, which means
If we want to protect them, it can't just be a local effort. We need international cooperation to make sure these guys are safe throughout their entire journey.
makes sense. If we only protect them in one spot, but they're migrating all over the place, then our efforts kind of fall apart, right?
Exactly. It's a reminder of how connected everything is in the ocean and how important it is to think globally when it comes to conservation.
You know, I can see why scientists call these dives a black box. We're
Yeah.
getting these little glimpses into what might be happening, but the full picture is still a mystery.
That's a great way to put it. It's like we're peeking through a tiny crack trying to understand this massive, complex world. But every new piece of information gets us closer to cracking the code. So one theory about these dives, these deep dives, is that they could be linked to reproduction.
Oh, interesting. So like a whale shark honeymoon or something?
Not quite a honeymoon, but maybe it's a strategy, for giving birth or even mating somewhere that's less crowded.
Oh, I see. Like a hidden sanctuary in the deep. So these massive whale sharks, they just disappear into the darkness, find this secret spot to raise their young. It's like something out of a movie.
It's a cool idea, right? And think about it, we still haven't found any confirmed breeding grounds or pupping grounds in the shallower water.
So the deep sea could be their secret nursery.
Possibly. But there are some issues with that theory, too. The deep sea, it's a pretty harsh place to be. Not a lot of food down there, especially for filter feeders like whale sharks.
Yeah, true. How would a mom and all her pups survive down there for a long time? Doesn't seem like there'd be enough food to go around.
Exactly. Unless, and this is just a thought, but what if they're supplementing their diet with something else down there?
That's interesting. Something else. Like what?
Well, remember those teeth we talked about? The ones that seem almost useless for filter feeding?
Right, the ones that don't really make sense for a plankton eater.
Yeah, exactly. What if they're actually using those teeth in the deep sea? Maybe they're feeding on something other than plankton down there.
Hold on, are you suggesting that our gentle giants, the whale sharks, might secretly be deep-sea predators?
Well, it's just speculation at this point. We can't say for sure, but it's definitely an intriguing possibility. These deep dives, they're already defying our expectations. Who knows what other surprises these creatures have in store for us?
Okay, this is getting seriously wild. We've got missing moms, deep-sea hangouts, and now maybe a hidden predatory side. What other clues are the scientists looking at?
Well, they're also studying their movements. They've discovered that some of these deep dives are actually happening during really long migrations.
So it's not just the depth they're diving to, it's also the distance they're covering.
Precisely. Remember Anne, the whale shark that went to the Mariana Trench? She didn't just dive, she traveled thousands of kilometers to get there.
Oh, right. So these deep dives, they could be part of some kind of larger migration pattern. Like, are they following certain currents, or maybe they're tracking a particular food source?
Those are some of the leading theories. And keep in mind, these migrations, they often take these whale sharks across international borders.
Right, which means...
Which means that protecting them becomes a much bigger issue. If we want to make sure they're safe, we need global cooperation. We need to protect them throughout their entire journey, not just in a specific location.
Yeah, that makes sense. Protecting them in one place doesn't really do much if they're migrating all over the ocean, right?
Exactly. It really highlights how interconnected everything is in the ocean and how important it is to think on a global scale when we're talking about conservation.
I'm starting to understand why scientists call these deep dives a black box of whale shark behavior. We're getting these little glimpses, but the full picture, it's still a mystery.
That's a great way to put it. It's like we're looking through a tiny keyhole, trying to understand this massive, complex world. But each new piece of information, each new study, brings us closer to unlocking the secrets of these amazing creatures.
It really makes you think, you know? There's so much we still don't know about the ocean. Like, we're just scratching the surface when it comes to understanding this incredible underwater world.
It's humbling, isn't it? We think of ourselves as like the top dogs on this planet, but the ocean? It's a constant reminder that there's so much more out there, entire ecosystems we can barely wrap our heads around.
And these whale sharks, these gentle giants, they're diving right into those ecosystems,
Yeah.
interacting with them in ways we haven't even begun to figure out.
Exactly. It's like they're holding on to these secrets and we're just getting these little glimpses. And with each new discovery, we have to kind of rethink what we thought we knew about them, about the ocean itself.
So, okay, we're starting to understand these deep dives a bit more. But what can we actually do to help protect these incredible creatures and the mysteries they hold?
Well, first off, we've got to support the research. All these tagging studies, the genetic analyses, the deep sea exploration, all of that takes funding.
So, like, donating to organizations that are doing that kind of research would be a good start.
Absolutely. There are some amazing groups out there working hard to conserve and study whale sharks. And spreading the word helps too. Tell your friends, share articles, you know, just talk about what you're learning.
Because the more people who know about these creatures, the more likely we are to make a real difference, right?
Exactly. It's all about awareness. We've got to protect them everywhere they go, not just in a few spots. That means working together, globally to create those marine protected areas, make sure fishing practices are sustainable, and of course, reduce pollution.
It sounds like a huge challenge, but a really important one if we want these gentle giants to stick around.
It is a big challenge, but it's not impossible. We've seen what can happen when people get together and really focus on protecting the environment. We can make a difference.
It's encouraging to know that there are so many people dedicated to protecting these creatures, scientists, conservationists, and just regular people like us.
Yeah, it's inspiring, and it's important to remember that even small actions can add up. Cutting back on plastic, choosing sustainable seafood, supporting businesses that are eco-conscious, it all contributes to a healthier ocean for everyone, whale sharks included.
It's like a reminder that we're all connected to the ocean no matter where we live, and the choices we make every day, they can have a real impact on the whole planet.
Well said. We're all part of this incredible web of life. It's up to us to protect it for future generations.
This deep dive has been quite a journey. We started out with these massive creatures cruising near the surface, filtering plankton, and we ended up exploring the mysteries of the deep ocean, the interconnectedness of life on Earth. It's pretty amazing.
It really is, and I have a feeling that the story of whale sharks is far from over. There are still so many secrets waiting to be discovered, so many questions left to answer.
So, to our listeners, we leave you with this. Next time you think about the ocean, think about those whale sharks, those enigmatic giants gliding through the depths. Let their story inspire you to learn more, explore more, and do your part to protect this incredible planet we call home.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. We'll catch you next time for another adventure into the world of science and discovery.